You're watching the nation's best college newscast. 11 News at Noon starts now.
Fire station renovation. Elkridge Fire Department is turning up the heat on their old firehouse. We'll show you some of the changes they're making.
Give it a shot. The Utah County Health Department is encouraging you to catch up on your immunizations, especially if you're a young adult.
Inconvenient commute. Conference weekend will be a busy one, and Trax is prepared to make your travels easier. I'm Christy Jacinto.
And I'm Jessica Black. Welcome to 11 News at Noon. Elkridge Fire Station is expanding to meet the growing population.
The firehouse hasn't changed since the early 80s. Firefighters in Elkridge are getting out of their cramped station and into a more spacious solution. 11 News reporter Andrea May is live in the newsroom and says the city says it is ready for the new fire station. Andrea, how will this affect the response time of the firefighters?
The firefighters will be about 20 minutes faster with their water truck than before, so the firefighters and the community will benefit from this upgrade. Elkridge firefighters will soon have more room to breathe. The original fire station was an obstacle to firefighting because the water truck was wedged between two other fire trucks.
There's areas in Elkridge that don't have fire hydrants just because of the way they were designed. Some of those trucks that we need to support those areas are extremely hard to get out of the old station.
The improved building will have 6 bay doors, one for every fire truck they have, letting the department respond faster. The remodel began on Tuesday. The city says it will take about 3 months. City officials say growing population is one of the reasons they need the remodel. Right now, the fire department gets 35 to 40 calls a year, but the fire chief says that's going to change.
Our call volume will go up, everything will basically go up just because the population is going to increase. And so that it's going to be a lot better for us to get out quicker and be able to support the city and community a lot better.
Although the project will be expensive at about $500,000, Elkridge's mayor says the community understands the need for the upgrade.
So far, I haven't had any negative response to this. It's been an expensive product for a small community like this is, but everyone I've spoken to so far has been very supportive.
That $500,000 price tag on the project will come straight out of the city budget. The mayor will be talking about the new station during a special public hearing on Monday. Live in the newsroom, Andrea May, 11 News.
So Andrea, what's the next step in the renovation?
Construction crews will raise the cement floor inside the building so that the building can expand.
Thanks, Andrea.
Police are asking for your help to find 3 suspects in an armed robbery at Provo Town Center. Investigators have this vague sketch of one of the 3 suspects. Police say on Tuesday, 3 men approached a jewelry courier in the parking lot who was moving items to an armored car. The robbers had knives and drove away with several pieces of jewelry. If you know who this is or have any information, call the Provo Police Department. A Payson murder trial came to a stop as officials wait for the results from forensic tests. Stephen Sutton is on trial for the murder of Jeffrey Vern Jensen last November, but he will have to wait a little longer for a verdict. Prosecuting attorneys say they are still waiting to test fire they think Sutton and co-defendant Shalise Nilsson used. A lack of firearm technicians in Utah created a backlog. Attorneys say the test firing should happen soon. Officials are waiting for more DNA evidence as well. Sutton and Nilsson will be back in court on November 13th. October is the start of flu season, but health officials say people need more than just their seasonal shots. 11 News reporter Jenilyn Theriot tells us more about staying caught up with your immunizations.
Here in Utah County, the health department is encouraging everyone to head in for their immunization boosters and flu shots, but some people just aren't very excited. When it comes to needles, Michael Brown says no thanks.
I don't ever want anything piercing my skin unless I'm dying, and even then it's still questionable.
That's one of the reasons he isn't getting vaccinations this year. The Utah County Health Department says they see a lot of children and older adults come in for immunizations, but few young adults. A lot of people like Brown haven't had boosters since high school, and this is a trend the health department says they're trying to change. They want all young adults, especially college students, to keep up on their shots.
Immunization is one of the best defenses we have against vaccine-preventable diseases.
Madigan specifically suggests that everyone get a flu shot and their Tdap booster before the end of October. The county is sponsoring vaccination clinics this month to provide easier access for the public.
We all have such busy lives, so many things going on, that it just makes it easier if you can just go around the corner or up the street as opposed to a couple cities away.
Even with easier access, some say that cost is still an issue. 4 things you need to take for your vaccinations include your immunization record, health insurance card, photo ID, and your wallet.
I mean, if I'm going to get sick, I'd rather do it for free. But also,
you can see some of these vaccination prices and a list of area clinics by checking out my story on 11news.byu.edu. I'll put a link on there that'll show you exactly where the nearest county clinic is. Jessica?
The long-awaited Google Fiber is finally signing up customers, and you don't have to wait for your neighborhood to get it first. Veracity customers can start signing up today, but service won't start until the end of October or early November. Sign-ups for everyone else in Provo will begin in January.
Springville's City Council isn't changing its law on having chickens as pets. The Save the Chickens campaign went to the council last night asking for changes to zoning laws that would allow poultry as pets in residential areas. Council members say that the current ordinance works, but they encourage the group to keep working to find a solution. UTA Tracks will be extending their hours in Salt Lake City for the LDS General Conference weekend. The Blue Line will run every 10 minutes in the 8 a.m. hour, the noon hour, and from 4 to 5 p.m., and they're adding extra cars to each train. There will also be earlier services for the Red Line and the Green Line from the airport.
Because of our newly built train system, we have the flexibility to move all these people, and so it's just a no-brainer. People want to take advantage of it, and we're happy to be able to do it.
The new extension to Draper is also part of this project. Most people will exit the trains at the Temple Square station. UTA says this will be the main transportation to conference for the large crowds. BYU students and local businesses are spending the day rubbing elbows at BYU's annual career fair. 117 businesses set up in the ballroom in the Wilkinson Center to recruit students for internships and jobs. BYU puts on the event every year to help students and employers connect, and employers say they are excited to see who they find here.
We're here at the career fair because we love BYU students. We've hired many of them, and they've been key to our success.
Also get resume critiques and networking tips. The career fair goes until 3 o'clock this afternoon.
When 11 News at Noon returns.
Drowsy driving. Troopers are sounding the alarm. Feeling sleepy at the wheel could cost more than a damaged car.
And all tangled up, a baby whale hits a little bump in the waves on its journey south. See how he escaped. Stay with us. Early mornings and late nights lead to more people on the road when they should be in bed. 11 News reporter Kathleen Keller tells us how drowsy driving is becoming the new drunk driving.
It can happen to anyone, and especially when you least expect it. Drowsy driving is more common than it should be, but there are some things you can do to keep yourself safe and alert next time you get behind the wheel.
I fell asleep at the wheel, I went off the road, and I'm gonna die.
1 minute, Haley Rasmussen was driving 75 miles an hour on I-15. The next, she suddenly crashed into a tree, leaving her car completely destroyed. Rasmussen sat on the road staring at her totaled car with one of the witnesses reminding her that she was lucky to be alive.
This girl just kept saying to me over and over, she just said, your car's replaceable, but you're not replaceable.
She lost her car, but she's grateful she walked away with only bumps and bruises.
I'm just so grateful that I didn't hurt anyone else, because even if something had happened to me, it wouldn't even compare to the guilt I'd feel if I had hurt someone else.
Drowsy driving can happen to anyone at any time, and officers say it's even as dangerous as driving while intoxicated.
As far as severity, it's been compared to drunk driving. It can be that dangerous where, as a person starts to get drowsy, they try something to wake themselves up a little bit, but those are only temporary things. It's just a matter of time before sleep sets back in again.
Officers and Haley Rasmussen agree that even if you're a little tired, don't get behind the wheel.
No, it's really not worth any time you're going to save, or it's just not worth it.
Troopers recommend things like turning up the radio and driving with other people if you feel a little tired on the road. It's all about staying awake and alert.
A Los Angeles jury reaches a verdict in the Michael Jackson case. A Georgia man pleads guilty to slapping a baby And Connecticut middle schoolers are forbidden to say, hump day. Here's your look at news from across the nation. The verdict is black and white in LA as the jury reached a conclusion in the Michael Jackson civil lawsuit. The Jackson family sued concert promoter AEG Live for hiring an unqualified doctor, but the jury decided Dr. Conrad Murray was fit for the job. The Jackson family won't receive compensation, but Murray still has to face the man in the mirror. He's in jail for involuntary manslaughter. A Georgia man pleaded guilty to assault after slapping a stranger's crying baby on a plane. Joey Ricky Hunley's attorney says that he was distressed after learning his own son was in a coma. Hunley was on his way to Atlanta to decide whether to keep his son on life support when he slapped the 19-month-old. Hunley faces up to 6 months in prison. A Connecticut middle school is banning a catchphrase from a popular Geico commercial. Students were roaming the halls yelling, "It's hump day, all day, every day." School administrators say they've had enough, which makes them happier than a camel on hump day. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Jessica?
But we have passed the middle of the week, and it is cold. Chris, how much can we take of this?
Yeah, well, we have passed the middle of the week, but maybe not quite the middle of the storm. We still have some more showers coming up, but then some sun. Your 11 News weather when we return. Hey, so it was definitely a cold, wet, kind of windy morning, and the winds actually picked up a little bit. However, you can see right here on BYU campus, students walking out, the leaves are slowly changing. Fall is drifting from the mountains down to the valleys. So enjoy those leaves while it happens. And currently, again, temperatures right around the 50-degree mark, 50% humidity, and winds really variable. You've got sometimes they're about 5, other times around 15. Earlier, about a half hour ago, we had a pretty good wind gust, and Weather Center was saying it was around 25 miles an hour. So, and down towards the lake, at least Utah Lake, definitely seeing some higher winds there. Tonight, though, it's going to be pretty chilly, about 38 degrees, rain, snow mix. Now, when I say that, that means the lower you are, the more rain, the less snow. So benches could see a little snow actually falling, but most of that won't stick, and the valley should be mostly rain. However, snow will be in the mountains, and we'll get to see that as we wake up tomorrow morning. And temperatures around the state really kind of show where that storm is. If you take a look here, you can see 50s for the highs all throughout northern Utah, 51 in Logan, 56 here in Provo, 59 in Vernal. But then you kind of see right about Interstate 70 on south, those temperatures are going to stay warmer. Moab in the 70s, St. George a high of 79, and Cedar City even at an altitude of over 5,000 feet, 63 degrees. So not too bad of a day, at least for the lower third of the state. Though the upper third, again, we are going to see some snow. And even Vernal actually has a freeze warning in effect for tonight. Southern Utah, St. George, you can see 79 here on Thursday, 68 on Friday. But then take a look at the weekend. 79 as a high on Sunday, 84 come Monday. And that's when people in St. George say, this is why I live here. Northern Utah, though, a little bit of a different story. We still got 2 more days of storm tonight. And then through tomorrow, though by Friday evening, it should calm down. But then weekend, Saturday, cool but nice. And then Sunday and Monday, really, really pleasant. High of mid-70s on Monday. So can't complain about that now, can we?
I know, I'm looking forward to that. I was freezing walking up the hill. It seems so much colder today than the past few days.
Yeah. And speaking of freezing, though, Logan, the game tomorrow night, it's going to get pretty chilly, so make sure you bundle up if you're going to that.
Okay.
Along with the weather being hot and cold, our BYU Cougars are giving me whiplash. Clark, what can we expect this weekend?
Now, hopefully the Cougars can heat up the field in Logan and make sure that the Aggies know who's the little brother in that rivalry. Next on sports, on the mend, key players for the football team are returning to the lineup this Friday in Logan, but one playmaker won't be suiting up against the Aggies. And Flex Ray's strong bats and live arms put Tampa Bay in another winning position Wednesday night. Was it enough to hold off the Tribe? You've got questions, we've got answers. Sports is next.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
All right, guys, we got to be smarter about what we bite on, okay? I want everyone to go outside. We're going to run Red Rover on 3.
What about you, Tony?
I'm going to run around in circles, flatten my arms, and make engine noises like this.
When it comes to playing, we kids are the pros.
We're eating right, too. We fuel up to play 60.
Your school doesn't have a program? Be a leader. Start one.
Click today and join the movement.
Okay, Josh, do your stuff.
Okay, people, you know the drill. Canned foods only, guys.
Sometimes you gotta live what you believe, open your arms, 'cause that's where it starts. Right here with you and with me. What the world needs now is love.
Generosity, pass it on.
A little help from up above. Faith to me.
A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Say what you want about the BYU football team, but they always have to think on their feet. After playing without 2 of their best offensive weapons last Friday, the Cougars announced yesterday that they will be without stud kick returner Adam Hine this week due to a concussion. Hine averages near 35 yards per return this year, including a 90-yarder against Middle Tennessee. Look for senior receiver J.D. Falslev to take his place for the time being. Falslev and the Cougs will need to hang on to the ball a lot better against Utah State tomorrow. BYU had fumbleitis last week, turning the ball over 6 times against the Blue Raiders. The Cougars will also need some balance on offense. Quarterback Taysom Hill is electric running the ball, but has yet to throw a touchdown pass this season. That's not going to cut it. The defense has been spectacular in tough spots and will need to contain USU quarterback Chucky Keaton to quiet the rabid Aggie crowd for the game. Expect another big game from senior D tackle Ethan Manamaliuna and, of course, Kyle Van Noy. Baseball, wild card game. Loser goes home. Let's get to it. Delman Young at bat for the Rays in the 3rd inning, and say hello to my little friend. An absolute moonshot off Danny Salazar puts the Rays in the lead 1-0. Then in the 4th, it's Desmond Jennings with 2 on, down the left field line. Evan Longoria hustling all the way around from first. He's going to score, and it's 3-0. Indians threatening in the bottom half. Bases juiced, 1 out, but Asdrubal Cabrera, epic fail. Double play lets the Rays off the hook. Now in the 8th, it's still 3-zip, and the home fans are getting a little restless. David DeJesus back to make a routine catch in left, and what was that? DeJesus upset because a fan throws his soda at him. Take another look. A note to Cleveland fans, if you're going to throw stuff, don't wait until he makes the catch. Fernando Rodney on in the 9th, and he's going to slam the door on the Indian season. Rays break out the silly string. They're keeping it PG for the kids up there in Cleveland. They're going to advance 4-0.
Proud of our guys. I mean, you had to be in the dugout to see they were fine. Our guys were fine from the very first pitch.
That leaves us with 8 teams gunning for the World Series title. The National League teams going at it tonight. Cards and Pirates play at 3 this afternoon. A.J. Burnett and Adam Wainwright, the pitching matchup there. And the Braves host the Dodgers right after that for Game 1 of their series. Chris Medlin and Clayton Kershaw on the mound in that one. Chad Ochocinco, Meta World Peace, and now this. The 49ers safety formerly known as Dante Whitner has officially dropped the W and changed his name to Dante Hittner. NFL rules require Hittner to cover all costs for all unsold replica jerseys when his last name was still Whitner. The Pro Bowler will make his debut with a new name Sunday night against Houston. Hey America, did you know it's hockey season? Our neighbors in Canada excited about that, but the action was in Denver last night. Legendary goalie Patrick Waugh making his debut as Avs coach, and his team did not disappoint. This was a blowout. Jamie McGinn makes it 4-0 in the second period, then Matt Duchesne just being mean in the third. Slick passing makes it 6-0, and the Ducks want to fly home. But before they go, Anaheim making it known that they are not pleased. And guys, I got to tell you, this is why the Canadians love this sport. Both teams getting a little testy at the final horn, then start going at it. And also, check out Coach Patrick Waugh showing that he's still a fighter. He almost knocks down the divider there. That's how they do it in hockey. Avalanche win 6-1. And guys, big news for former BYU receiver Austin Collie. He was signed by the New England Patriots today. USA Today reporting that. Great fit all around for him in that franchise.
Great. Still to come on 11 News at noon. Whale, whale, whale. What do we have here? Australian officials find themselves in a whale of a predicament. Find out how they rescued this baby when we return.
Nobody puts baby in a corner, or as Australian officials found out, in a net. The nets are supposed to keep sharks away from the shore where people are swimming, but Australian Gold Coast officials were in a snag when they found the nets had entangled a baby whale. They say the whale family was likely migrating south when the baby got stuck in the nets. Mama whale waited nearby as officials freed the patient calf and watched mother and baby disappear together into the deep.
Good thing they got that little baby out. That'd be so sad.
I know. I'm glad people are paying attention to that kind of stuff. That would be so sad if it didn't end that way.
Like baby whales. I wonder if they were taking the EAC.
I think every baby animal is
the cutest thing ever. I know.
For sure.
Baby blue whale is probably the biggest baby animals you'll ever see.
Probably.
I went whale watching last month, and I saw some orcas. They were incredible.
That's cool.
Huge creatures. A little scared of them.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
They are beautiful. Well, that's your 11 News at noon for Thursday, October 3rd.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.